Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into NextCure's recent filing, and let me tell you, this one has a little bit of everything. A new licensing agreement, a stock sale, and a peek into their financial runway. It's like a biotech soap opera, but with more numbers. And before we jump in, if you're into understanding what's really going on with these companies from their SEC filings, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below, so come join the discussion. Basically, NextCure is teaming up with a Chinese company to develop and sell a cancer drug, but to do it, they're selling a bunch of stock. It's a gamble, but could pay off big time if the drug works. Let's decode what's really going on. Alright, let's kick things off with the main event, the licensing agreement. NextCure has made a deal with Hainan Simcere Zaiming Pharmaceutical, a company over in China. In a nutshell, NextCure is getting some rights to a cancer drug candidate from Zaiming, and Zaiming is getting some cash and potential future payments. More specifically, NextCure now has an exclusive license to work on Zaiming's clinical stage antibody drug conjugate, or ADC, which is called Sim05AVO5. In the whole world, except for mainland China, Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, think of it like this. NextCure gets to develop, make, and sell the drug everywhere except China and a few of its territories. They also get to use Zaiming's ADC tech to develop other ADCs for a new target. An ADC is basically a guided missile for cancer cells. It's a drug attached to an antibody that seeks out and destroys cancer cells. Now, Zaiming is holding on to the exclusive rights to Sim0505, and any NextCure developed drugs in China, Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan. This area is known as the Zaiming territory. So who's paying who in this agreement? To get the ball rolling, NextCure is handing over $17 million to Zaiming. This includes $12 million right away, called the initial payment, and another $5 million that will be paid either when NextCure gets some serious financing, or by the end of 2025 if that financing hasn't happened yet. On top of that, once the first phase 2 clinical trial for Sim0505 starts, NextCure will give Zaiming $1 million worth of its own stock, or cash if they decide to go that route. And there are even more potential payments down the line. NextCure could also pay Zaiming up to 166.55 million Dragulosity Xingming product based on certain development and regulatory goals, and 25.5 million others per NextCure product, plus sales-based payments of up to $535 million, and here's the kicker. There will also be royalties on any sales of these drugs. Royalties are based on a percentage of sales. NextCure pays Zaiming tiered royalties, meaning the percentage changes depending on how much they sell. For Zaiming's products, the royalties range from mid-single digit to low double-digit percentages. For NextCure's products, they range from low to mid-single digits. It's like getting a commission on every sale. NextCure is now responsible for getting this drug through clinical trials and eventually selling it in the United States and other countries, basically everywhere outside of Zaiming's territory. This means they're on the hook for seeking approval from regulatory bodies in the US and at least one other major country. Zaiming, on the other hand, is keeping its development efforts going in China, so they'll continue working on Sim0505 there. Also, Zaiming is going to supply NextCure with the drug for early clinical trials and help them with the tech to start making the drug themselves. Both companies will keep ownership of their existing technology, and any new inventions will be owned by whoever comes up with them. There are some extra rules for technology that both companies develop. The agreement also has some standard clauses about things like managing the deal, keeping things secret, and who's responsible if something goes wrong. This licensing agreement will last product by product and country by country until all the royalties are paid up. Okay, now let's talk about the money. To fund all this, NextCure is selling stock, which brings us to the private placement. NextCure has an agreement to sell shares to Simcere Zaiming Inc., which is an affiliate of Zaiming, which is the Chinese company we just talked about. They're selling over 4 million shares of their common stock at a price of about $0.492 of per share, raising a total of $2 million. NextCure has promised to register these shares with the SEC so that Zaiming can resell them later. The goal is to have this registration done as quickly as possible, following a set of deadlines. The subscription agreement and the registration rights agreement are exhibits to this report and are officially incorporated herein. And because they're selling these shares without registering them through the usual channels, they're relying on certain exemptions from the Securities Act of 1933. This means they believe they're following the rules for private sales of stock. NextCure put out a press release about the deal, and also gave a corporate presentation that included information on SIM0505, the cancer drug. Always good to keep investors in the loop. Finally, the company states that they think they have enough cash to keep things running until the middle of 2026. However, they also caution that this is just an estimate and things could change. So what's the overview here? Let's dive into what I think about the current situation. Overall, this looks like NextCure is making a big bet on this cancer drug candidate, SIM0505. Partnering with Zyme gives them access to that drug and its underlying tech, and also diversifies their market. However, they're taking on a lot of risk. There's no guarantee that this drug will work. Selling stock to fund the deal means diluting existing shareholders, but it could be worth it if the drug succeeds. Also, the relationship with Zyme could be tricky. Both sides need to execute their parts of the deal effectively, and international partnerships always carry some extra complexity. To the fact that they believe they can fund operation only until mid-2026 with current cash might explain why the deal was needed and why they were happy to take the dilution. A company should always be very wary of running out of money, particularly in biotechnology, which can make raising funds very hard on short notice. Now, looking at these recent set of events more broadly, NextCure appears to be focusing its efforts on this specific ADC candidate to bolster its technology. While the partnership may prove successful, its success completely depends on the success of just a few molecules, which can present inherent risks. Alright, that's our breakdown of NextCure's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.